What's up? This is Eric, and this video is for music educators looking for tips on teaching music technology to their students. Okay, in this video, I will show you some workflows for making beats that sound like this. These are halftime drum patterns. This method works great for students as young as grade 4 all the way up through high school. And for this tutorial, we'll be using Soundtrap, but in reality, you can apply these concepts to just about any digital audio workstation that you like. And if you don't have access to Soundtrap through your school, I just suggest signing up for a free account, which will have everything that you need. Okay, let's get started. What are halftime drums? In a lot of popular music, you'll hear beats that sound like this. This is a real-time drum pattern, but watch what happens when you make one simple change. This is a halftime drum pattern. And with this one change, the beat feels like it's moving half as fast, even though the tempo is exactly the same. What makes it halftime is the position of the snares. Instead of the snares going on beats 2 and 4, like a real-time beat, the snares go on beat number 3, which splits the bar in half. Real-time, halftime. Okay, I'm going to show you how to make some halftime beats. This is really popular in hip-hop music. Think trap beats, dubstep, even pop music and rock. All these genres use halftime beats in some way. I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So open up a new project. I suggest clicking on the Patterns Beat Maker right over there. Click on that and it adds a new track. And then go ahead and choose the instrument that you want. You can keep that this kit here if you like, but I'm going to go ahead and change mine. I like the one called Attitude, right? So if you click on this, you can hear the preview. And you may notice as well, I've also already chosen my tempo for the track. It's going to be 150. I'm going to speed it up a little bit, right? So you can choose whatever you like. I suggest somewhere around 140, 150, but it's up to you, okay? And I'm going to choose the Attitude kit. And now I'm going to go ahead and prepare the clip that I want to create. So I'm going to zoom in on the beginning here a little bit here so I can see like bar 1 and 2. And then I'm going to go ahead and double click or single click, actually create a new empty clip here. And this is super important, right? We want to make sure we turn the loop brace on. That's over here. Turn the loop brace on and make it so that it's only 1 bar long. So mine, see, this is going from bar number 1, bar number 1 to bar number 2, that's 1 bar long, right? And what happens is when I turn it on, when I click here in the middle, now it's sort of sectioned off just this 1 bar. It's way easier to see. It's way easier to work in this space. This isn't going to be the whole clip, but this is where we're going to start. The first thing you want to do is add a note for the first main element of your drums, and that's going to either be a snare or a clap, all right? So in this case, we got the snare, and what we're going to do is click right over here on beat number 3. Beat number 3 of the bar, no longer beats 1 and 2, like in a real-time beat. Beat number 3, right over there. That's the first step for a halftime beat. And if you think about it, this snare right over here, it actually splits the bar in half, right? It's right in the middle, beat number 3 of beats 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's the first step. Second step is to add the second main element for your drums. It's your kick. I'm going to click here, and now I've got a kick on beat number 1. And now you can add the third main element to your drums. In this case, it's going to be the closed hat. And you can choose whatever pattern you like, but this is the one I really suggest you starting out with, especially if this is the first time you're making these types of drums. I would start with this specific pattern. This is an 8th note closed hat pattern. 8th note, right? Because there's 8 total notes in here within this 1 bar section, all right? So now it sounds like this. Okay. That's not bad, but it's getting really repetitive if you haven't noticed, especially with this kick hitting every single time the bar hits, right? Pretty repetitive, okay? So the next step I'm going to suggest is taking the loop brace and just lengthening this out to bar number 3. So now, see how that's now 2 bars long, okay? And what you want to do is you want to take this pattern and you want to copy it, all right? You just copy it and then move this over here and paste it so that there are now two of the same. Got it? Right? But now we can use this as a starting point to make some cool changes and make it sound more interesting, because with a halftime beat, you want at least a 2-bar pattern, okay? At least a 2-bar pattern, otherwise your ears are going to get tired of hearing that same thing over and over again. And next, what I suggest is this. Remove this kick. So now there's no longer a kick on bar number 2, beat number 1, okay? Now what you can do is add your kicks and add between 1 and 6 total kicks. Okay, here's how it sounds with nothing else, just one kick. Still sounds okay. Not bad. What you can do is you can kind of beatbox out loud and figure out where you want the next note to go, okay? So I want it to sound like this. But boom, 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 right over here. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. That's what I want. And that sounds good with just 3 total kicks. And you notice how I didn't add any more snares, okay? For now, don't add any more snares. Trust me on it, but for now, keep it just like this, okay? And now what you can do is you can spice up your closed hats just a little bit by adding a few notes in between. Let's change this one here. You can kind of sing out loud and figure out where you want to put the notes. I like that. How's it going so far? Let me know in the comments. And if you find this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications, and also share this video with your colleagues. And if you are looking for a full curriculum, check out Electronic Music Elements. This is our non-performance-based music production curriculum for late, elementary, middle, and high school. Get access with a 1-week full trial. Link is in the description below. Now let's get back to making halftime beats. So before I continue, it's possible that once you get to this point, something sounds a little off, okay? In particular, it might sound off with your kicks. Here's what I mean. I'm going to go ahead and change a couple things around, and what I want you to pay attention to is the placement of the kicks. You'll notice that some of the kicks, well, all of these kicks right now, the spot where they happen, if you were to sort of group each of these notes in like pairs, for example, a pair would be like these 2 notes right over here, like that and that. Think of that as a pair, okay? And think of these 2 as a pair, and think of these 2 as a pair. You'll notice that the notes that I've chosen, they all fall on the first note in that little pair, okay? The first note. That's on purpose, okay? Watch what happens if I move this slightly. Watch, I'm going to move this over to the right 1. So now it's on like the second note of the pair. I'm going to do the same thing for this, and you're going to notice it's going to sound a little weird. And it might sound like something that you've done, maybe, maybe not. But there you go. Now it's kind of on this sort of awkward spot where it's taking up the second half of that pair. Okay, let's take a listen, and you'll see what I mean. Here we go. Hear that? Sounds a little weird, right? Okay. Now, especially when you're adding kicks, this is really, really important. Okay. I would avoid the second note of each of these pairs. Okay, so you just have to sort of visualize pair, 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 etc. all the way down. Try not to choose the note that's the second of that pair. And if you do hear something that sounds kind of strange like this, if something sounds off, then I suggest just moving that note, whatever, where it's going to be a kick note most likely. Move the kick note either 1 to the left, right, or 1 to the right, so that it's on the first of the pair. Trust me on it, and this is going to be a good remedy for you if things start to sound a little strange rhythmically. And you don't have to stop there. Let's go ahead and add some more sounds, okay? So just click right over here, and let's click on Add. And this is going to be an open hat. Click Add again, and now there's going to be, this is going to be a crash, but I want to change some of this stuff around. Let's go ahead and change this open hat to a rim shot, okay? So it's a percussive sound, and I don't want to crash here. I want this to be the open hat. Okay, so now it says kick, snare, hi-hat closed, rim shot, and open hat. Try this out. And it sounds really cool when you start moving some notes around. For example, like the closed hat and the open hats, they can never play at the same time. You've probably seen a drum kit where there's a closed hat. It looks something like this, and it's either open or closed. Okay, it can't be open or closed at the same. It can't be open and closed at the same time. So what you can do is move some of the closed notes over to the open notes. All right. So for example, right over here, I'm going to move this note right over here. So it goes right. Okay. That's going to be a more open sound with that. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and place that here on beat number 1 of bar number 2 as well. And then let's take a listen to this now. It's going to go something like that. Let's take a listen. I really like that. And then the last thing I'll add is some rim shots. Okay, these are percussive sounds. I'm going to go ahead and add them here. And this is something that can play at the same time as your closed hat. It's not a problem if there's overlap here. And now this is going to add a nice little percussive sound to kind of keep things interesting in between the snares. All right, so these percussive sounds like rim shots, similar to snares, and it's kind of cool if they're happening to kind of complement those snares. So now it sounds like this. There we go. So now that you've created one clip, maybe you want to make more. What you can do for this one, you can take this and copy it. I'm just going to move a copy right over here, just like that. It's the same thing over here as it is over here. And now I'm going to go back over here and just make some minor adjustments so that they're kind of the same, but kind of different. And the idea is I'm going to make maybe a smaller sort of change somewhere in this bar right over here, right? Just in bar 2. So let's take a listen to it. And it's probably going to be with the snares. This is where I think it's okay to start adding some snares. Here we go. How about something like this? Okay. And I'm also going to make another change here, maybe just add a few more closed hats. Let's take a listen to this. Nice. Okay. So now we have another pattern, and what you can do is you can put those patterns together. Okay. So if I bring this right back over here, and let's take the second pattern, move it right over here. So now we have a 4-bar pattern, and let's go ahead and extend this so it plays the entire time. Now we have a 4-bar pattern. And what we did was make a very slight adjustment in the second bar right over here. Of the second pattern, so that we have some variation, and now this becomes even more interesting. So let's take a listen. There we go. All right, and if you have something that you like, you can select both of them, right-click, merge regions, and there you go. Now you have a nice 4-bar halftime drum pattern. So there you go. That's one of the many ways to teach your students how to make halftime drum patterns. More to come in future videos. Okay, and if this video was helpful, or even if you have questions, let me know in the comments, and I'll be happy to help. Okay, this is Eric, and I'll see you next time.